All right, here we are.
We're back again.
We are. This is. I've actually. I guess I just realized my room is flipped on the.
Oh, so we're back to back right now.
Yeah, my room is flipped because I'm actually capturing my webcam from Discord. See
Oh,
here, I'll break the illusion. Ooh, it's the same window. But yeah, and you'll see why when I have the setup. I needed us to be captured in the same frame.
Yeah. That's funny. You can almost not tell at all.
Yeah, whatever. Actually, it might not be a bad way to do things, other than the fact that the room is reversed. But whatever. Sandy is being very playful right now, so I might have to throw some toys periodically.
So we got kind of a last minute. You were not planning on doing this until like just like a.
Well, I like when I was recording. For some reason, I felt like the Super SD System 3 with the HD Retrovision cables on the RetroTink. Like for some reason, it just looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I mean, you couldn't really see the jail bars or anything. I just thought this could be a really good way. There's some noise issues with the SSDS 3, but you couldn't see it. It hides it. I thought this could be a really good way to play PC Engine. And like, I got a really cool shot. Like, I'm just like, I'm climbing up the fishing pole and then I like bonk like 4 guys in a row. And I was just like, man, like I'm feeling good about this game right now. That was the shot I used in the video. I was like, I want to play it, but we decided to be kind of lame because you've like streamed bonk twice.
Yeah, well, I did it for the one time just on the regular stream, and I did it also on the marathon.
Mm-hmm. So decided not to do that. I thought, well, what can I do with the RetroTink? And I thought, like, what can I do is like simultaneous output. Not that a comparison is really fair, but I just thought it'd be interesting. And my first thought was, well, maybe something on N64. And then I thought, well, what about Genesis? I wondered. I felt really clever for coming up with this idea, and I'm still not quite sure why it doesn't work. By the way, I'm hearing myself echo back a little bit.
You're hearing me. I'll turn it down a little bit. I can switch over to headphones if need be.
Okay. Yeah, so I thought, what if I take the VGA to composite cable, which isn't really VGA, it's not an adapter, it's just like carrying composite signals, whatever is going through it. The adapter that I have for the NT Mini to get composite video out of it. Sandy is curious about Mario's head on my TV. Sandy, be careful there. I had to wipe my TV off last week because there was dog spit on it. we played Grim Fandango on the Backloggery stream, and for some reason she was way into it. Like maybe it was just like the static background with like a character moving on it, like made the character much more visible to her, and she really wanted to catch him. I guess the character's also made out of bones, so there's that too. But anyway, that's beside the point.
Look at the bones.
So I thought, what if I used a sync-on composite Genesis cable through the G-SCART and took the VGA out to composite? I bet I could capture, like, I could get RGB and composite simultaneously out of the Genesis like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it would work, but it didn't. Hey, Austin, if you check out the Twitter, you'll see that is not true. I have in fact wiped off the PSP.
Well, you in fact have not wiped it off.
Sandy,
you're perpetually wiping it off and putting it back on forever.
Yep, basically. The PSP is forever in a state of clean and unclean. But anyway, so ultimately the easiest thing ended up being to do N64 simultaneously with HDMI and S video, which isn't, not exactly meant to be a fair comparison, but some people will be like, oh, this is more than good enough for... I feel like the jump from composite to S video to RGB on N64, if you're not using D-Blur, is very small.
Yeah.
Actually, I feel like N64 has some of the best composite. And maybe that's just because, there's so much blur in the image as it is. But, let's bring it up. Here we are. Here we go.
Yeah, we got 310 people in here waiting.
Oh, man. Mario bringing in the viewers.
There they are. I mean, I'm going to make it full screen, see if I can...
Tell the difference.
Oh, yeah, you put it full screen, you can definitely tell a difference.
Yeah, but it's, obviously I've got D-Blur on. I mean, look, I can...
But that makes it kind of interesting, too.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different thing. Look, I can turn D-Blur off. So there's with D-Blur off. I mean, it's still going to be sharper and a little more vivid.
Yeah. But it's a cool comparison.
Yeah.
Regardless.
But, I'll turn the D-Blur back on. You can do a gamma boost, which I only really do for scan lines. I feel like it's too bright otherwise. But yeah, what's funny is when I was setting this up, I almost gave up because for some reason it was capturing black and white. I'm like, is it something wrong with the capture card? What I do wrong? I should have watched my own dang video and remembered, if you're on the wrong input on the Retrode, it's black and white.
What's kind of funny is if you look at the Switch, the image on the Switch, we're both, I'm looking at the S video and you're looking at the... It's funny, so it almost looks like, I'm the S video side,
Well, you've got RGB de-blur, and it.
Yeah. We do need to do a quick little video on that.
Just
I think.
To compare them. Yeah, it took so long for one of us to actually get that.
Yeah, I mean, we just need to do it. I think it'd be fun.
All right, here we go. I already erased the file for us.
Yeah. Well, this I don't think I've ever seen you really play through this before in any serious capacity. I'm not the biggest fan of this game.
See, this game was...
That's I understand.
I mean, it's divisive. I mean, I feel like this was the template for 3D gaming going forward.
Without a doubt. But I mean, I think it was just the fact that I didn't own the system for many, many years. Well, until Zelda came out when I finally got the system. I just didn't have a lot of interest, I guess. And I think the big part of that was it was really hard for me to kind of wrap my head around analog controls as well.
Mm. See,
I didn't have the the subtlety to be able to slightly push the stick. I guess.
I actually one time got on the roof of the castle, and if you land on the other side of the bridge, then Lakitu doesn't trigger. So you'll actually see him for some reason. You can actually see him from the other side of the bridge. He is parked.
Just waiting there?
He's parked in front of the door, and then as soon as you step on the bridge, he pops off. I can't do it anymore. It took a lot of practice. I remember reading in Nintendo Power, or maybe it was online, like how to get on the roof of the castle without the cannon. And I sort of developed my own technique, but it basically involved running toward this corner, doing a triple jump, sliding down just the right way, and then you would fly up on that wall that you could wall kick off of, and you'd be on the roof.
How did you discover that yourself?
You don't understand how much I played this game, man. This game, I mean, let's be honest, it has its fair share of glitches. They got nothing that gets Sandy, don't like the N64. you know, it has a lot of glitches, nothing that really gets in the way of the gameplay, but you can break the game in a lot of ways. And in some ways, I feel that's a testament to it, because it's not afraid to just let you do stuff. Like, I mean, Mario's moveset is so unrestricted. Modern games just don't give you this level of control. I mean, modern Mario games, especially starting with Galaxy, you know, really made him, they made him a lot slower, a little stickier. You know, you just can't quite pull off things that you shouldn't do, not very easily.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Mario Sunshine had to me, it has a very similar feel of movement, but they took a lot of moves away. But I mean, this game, I mean, just in terms of controls and the flexibility that you have, like, man, there's just not a lot of games like it. There really aren't.
I see Trout Butter in the chat is asking when the Coury and Tri-Switch game is coming out. You know that Howard Lincoln famously said that My Life in Game would never appear on a Nintendo platform. And guess what? He's wrong. He's wrong.
It actually is wrong if the Switch version of Night Trap has the dock in it. I mean, we don't appear.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Well, your voice can be heard in the background laughing.
Yeah. Well, and
our names are in the credits.
Yeah.
Is that in the Switch version? Do you know for sure?
Yes. Yeah.
I wasn't sure if there could be a size constraint concern. Yeah, if anyone's wondering, S-Video is on the left and HDMI is on the right.
You didn't have enough time to make a label.
No. Sandy thinks this game looks pretty fun. Now, Koopa the Quick will get you for using a cannon. Like, he'll say you cheated. Oops. But you can use the teleport.
Oh, that's in the
little cave area.
In the cubby there. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I don't know about this game. I mean, I've only played through it one time, and I do understand that, you know, a lot of people think it's ridiculous, but you know, it is what it is. And
I mean, there are so many people that do not like N64 at all, and so many people that are just obsessed with it. And I just think it depends on how old you were at the time. But it is a little hard for me to understand, to some extent, not really being into it, because, like, you know, I cannot get my head into a frame of mind where I can understand not thinking this is just like the most phenomenal game ever. I just realized, good thing I realized in time. I've made this mistake before where I did too fancy of a jump onto the flagpole. The trigger for finishing the race is like somewhere lower down.
I mean, I wasn't a huge Sunshine fan either. I liked it.
I mean, that's very understandable.
Yeah,
it's okay.
I love Galaxy. Like,
yeah, well, in Galaxy, I mean, it's a different playing game, and it you know, it doesn't try to be Mario 64, and so it succeeds as its own formula, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I did everything. At least with Mario. I didn't do it all again with Luigi, but
I actually preferred Luigi because I felt he feels a little closer to Mario 64.
Yeah.
Mario, you know, he's a little quicker and looser and jumps higher.
Yeah, I just think that I was too into the PS1 at the time. Yeah.
But I mean, the analog control to me was, once I realized you don't hold the controller like this, I was just like, oh, this is amazing. And Mario 64, I think, is probably, I mean, there's probably like N64 speedrunners or something you could tell me otherwise, but I would guess it may be the best example of just how sensitive the stick is, because modern games just don't give you this many degrees of freedom, I think.
Yeah.
They sort of lock you into certain directions a lot more. Sandy.
So we won't be streaming next week because we'll be in Connecticut.
That's true. It will be, I guess, sort of Retro World Expo will have just ended.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't really see a feasible way we could stream anything unless we did something on your laptop in the hotel room with probably terrible internet.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, we probably won't do that, but we'll. I see Adam Jenkins talk about the Retro Brawler. Is that one fixed? The Retro Brawler 64 controller?
Yeah, we were just talking about that today.
Yeah. Because is it fixed up? Did they like fix the trigger or whatever that was having a problem? Because if so, then we'll reach out and contact somebody about it. They redid the stick, and yes, it's fixed.
So is it
Awesome.
Considered good now?
So is it considered good now? They redid all of them.
Oh, they replaced like the ones that were sent out?
Yep. I'll send him a message about it right now.
Here we go!
I've actually gotten, I mean, this is probably nothing anyone would consider impressive, considering this game is like broken and speedrunned to no end. So my personal accomplishments in this game don't mean a whole lot in this day and age. But
yeah,
at the time, I thought I'd done some cool things in it. I've gotten the star that you're supposed to use the wing cap on. I've gotten that without the wing cap. I mean, obviously it's not very efficient because you have to do the cannon, I think, maybe 3 times at least. But I did get the level correct to do that. I'll show another glitch I always thought was kind of funny that I found back in the day, but I don't know if anyone else knows about. I might be the only one. It's not a useful glitch, but it's kind of funny. You have beaten this though, haven't you?
Yes, with like the minimum amount of stars.
Well, I mean, that's what we're going to be. I mean, that's what we're going to
Okay.
be doing tonight. Now, I used to be pretty good at a shortcut in the slide, but I can't really do it anymore.
Do you think you could basically beat it without dying though at this point?
Probably. I probably have. I mean, considering the number of hits they give you, I mean, it's not that unrealistic.
Here we go!
Now, I don't have really any knowledge of speedrunner tricks or really even know like the best strategies. I've never mapped out like, ooh, what would be the most efficient stars to get. Like even if you're just getting them normally, I just go for whatever ones I feel like. If I think one of them's going to take too long, then I I used to have a tradition back in college where the night before, if I was on break, I was home on break. You know, this was GameCube generation, GameCube, PS2, Xbox, and I had this tradition. If I was home for Christmas or summer or whatever, the night before going to college, I just did a full playthrough of Mario 64. Which, you know, I was able to get down to, you know, it would randomly vary between 2 to 2.5 hours, which, you know, again, not impressive in this day and age, but, you know, for a game that feels fairly expansive and vast, I thought that was not too bad.
Joe says, it's weird, there's no lag between the one on the left versus the one on the right, but the one on the right is dropping several frames per second.
Oh, really? I wonder if it's a capture issue, because I'm not noticing it in gameplay. All right, I'm going to try a trick I used to do. I don't know if I can still do it. I'm probably going to die here, but oh. Okay, I didn't die, but I didn't make it either. I'll give it another shot. Why not? Whoa. Oops. Well, yep, there I'm dead.
Mamma mia!
Are you seeing any frame
Yes,
drops?
it's just I did have here and there, but I mean, everything's in sync. It just looks like it's an overall stream difference. I mean, it's just a stream dropping frames, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the game is dropping frames on my TV, so it might just be a capture issue.
But if you are going to be at Retro World Expo, we have 2 panels, and we'll be appearing on 2 other panels.
Yeah, it's, you know, I was looking at the panel schedule today, and I feel like it's one of the better panel lineups that I've seen at a convention, honestly. Like, I don't typically spend a lot of time at panels at cons, and maybe that's not necessarily because the panels aren't good, but just because I'm just too lazy to go to a lot of panels, I guess. But I was like, man, there's like a lot of stuff I'd really kind of like to see. I think it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. And if we're doing a screening of the Night Trap documentary. I mean, I'm sure most people in the chat have seen that at that point. But if you come to the screening, there's like a Q&A after, and then we're going to be showing like a 4 to 5 minute teaser of like the different projects we've been working on in the last several months.
And like Coury was
Basically,
making
a lot of that stuff has like never been announced. I guess.
I don't think has any of it been announced, like even at all. Like maybe
Yeah,
some vague
probably
teasers
no.
of a couple of things, but
Yeah. Unfortunately, the Japan stuff is not on there because we're not allowed to.
anything else
Talk
we
about
can,
that
we can say.
But everything else is like
Wow.
our own stuff.
So yeah, it's going to be, you know, you showed me the teasers today. You were kind of working on them all day, weren't you?
For like most of the day, you know, I started working on them yesterday, but I only got through one yesterday, and it's like this happens to me all the time. You ever feel like, you know, you work on something and you can't make any progress, and then you sleep on it, and then you wake up the next morning and you like have it all figured out?
Maybe.
I mean, that happens to me all the time. You know, I struggle for one day to kind of get started, and then I just like have a night of sleep, wake up, and I'm like, it's almost like I dream about it, and I like know how I want, like what I'm gonna do.
I don't know if it exactly happens in that sense for me. But sometimes, you know, it's more like once I start working on, I realize like, oh, this isn't as hard as it was yesterday.
Here we go.
But yeah, when you were showing me those, like, it seemed like they just cut together so easy. Like the material is so good, it just
Yeah, and you know,
it
it's
just
cool
stands on
because
its own.
some of that stuff was shot like a long time ago.
And it's been a while since we
And-
really looked at it. And it's like I was like, I got like every single one of those got me so pumped up. Like I think people are going to be
Can't
really
wait to like
surprised.
start working on it.
I know.
But yeah, if you come to the screening, we'll be showing that afterwards. I think that's will be fun. You know, kind of like get that stuff out in the open. And you know, kind of seeing everything like a little bit like cut up like that and kind of in context, it made me realize just like how much it is like it just like it feels like all the subjects are pretty much stuff that you would expect from our show.
Yeah.
I guess from us, you know, versus, you know, like they're not like general documentaries on stuff, but they're like they're kind of specifically about
Things you already know we like.
yeah. So I'm excited to show that stuff off to people. But you know, if you can't make it to there, you know, we
We'll share
should be
with
able
our
to.
we'll share the clips with our patrons later, but we'll
Yeah.
we'll probably make proper announcements, you know, just on the stream and stuff.
Right.
We'll talk more openly about those projects.
Yes. But it's cool. It's cool. It's exciting. Then we're just doing like a general RGB Masterclass Live panel. And I think that we might be appearing on the video Game Years Live panel. I'm not sure if they've decided exactly what year is going to be the subject. But I've heard rumors, and it's a pretty good year. And and Try might be appearing on a panel about Castlevania, kind of like the impact of Castlevania.
Joe, PSP can do 480i.
Only the 3000.
Only the 3000 can do 480i on component. If you jump out of the tree and grab the feet of this owl without touching the ground, his dialogue box won't trigger. And but anytime you let go, the dialogue box will trigger no matter where you are. Where's the cage? I'm going.
See,
I'm
retro
gonna
graphics
miss it.
is asking if I have a Karnov arcade board yet.
Oh,
And I do
almost-
not.
I don't even know what the Karnov arcade game is like.
Well, wouldn't it be a dream to stream Karnov, the arcade version of Karnov, on a real arcade PCB?
What if one of
I
our
think that stream
upcoming
probably had more than
documentaries?
436 concurrent viewers.
What if one of our upcoming documentaries was about Karnov? You never know.
Yeah.
I hope I got a few people excited for a second. No, it's not true.
Yeah.
Would we consider it? Would we
Yeah,
consider
of course.
wasting our time on a documentary about Karnov that no one but us wants to exist?
You know what? But maybe we would have a chance to do something on Data East. And, Karnov would certainly be a part of that.
You never know.
I wouldn't think that would be a waste of time. I think it'd be awesome.
I'm not going to get the stupid owl. That was probably the least reliable one to get in that level. Let's get the red cat. I could have played my Japanese. You can pick if you miss the last 2 red coins, you can fly up from the ground.
I see that I was asking if we have a PO box.
We have 2
who is
PO
it?
boxes.
Yes, it looks like Mitchell Bowling is asking if we have a PO box, and we do. And it's in the description of like newer videos.
It's also on the about page.
Yep, you can. It's also here. Since we live in different states, there's one for each of us. If you want to send anything, you gotta pick who it's more appropriate for. Or who you like more.
That is also valid.
There was one commenter these last 2 days that was going through, went through multiple videos and said, "You say this word awkwardly."
Yeah. You say
the way you say BIOS sounds really awkward.
The way you
Then
say
it's like,
solder sounds really awkward.
Yeah.
The thing was with that is there's 2 audiences that you're not going to please. I mean, you're going to have the European audience that's going to want to say solder, and you're going to have the American audience that's want to say solder. You're going to have the Voltar audience that's want to go and say solder. So
yeah,
you can't please anyone.
We kinda, I guess we go back and forth to keep people on their toes.
I mean, I've heard that BIOS and BIOS are both valid.
Yeah, I've always said BIOS.
I used to say BIOS, but then I heard BIOS, and I mean, it's one of those things that is this one of the toads that has a star? I don't think he is, but I'm going to. I think there's only 3. I know which 3 they are. You know, it's not a bad idea to skip this level in general. This one can be.
In case you're just tuning in, Ryan and I, we are racing at this game right now.
We're neck and neck.
Yep.
Stop copying me, Coury.
But yeah, so speaking of like Retro World, like before Retro World, we're actually going to New York City for a few days or a couple days like before going to Connecticut for Retro World, and we're going to be shooting a couple of things. But most notably, there is going to be a fan meetup along with Retro RGB with Bob from Retro RGB at the iFix Arcade on Wednesday at 7 o'clock. And if you're in the area, you should go.
I can't believe I actually got that right on my first try. I usually kind of have a brain fart on the chest order there.
I'll put the info on our Facebook and also on on Twitter and stuff like that. So
I'm not going to do any more on Jolly
you live
Roger.
in the area?
Yeah, I'm not going to Jolly Roger yet. It's too slow to get too many stars there.
We've kind of been all over traveling recently, but this is gonna be a last time, as far as I know, for the rest of the year. Because we just need to like work on this stuff actually now.
Yeah.
But it was nice cutting those little teases today, because kind of got me back in that mindset a bit.
I remember a friend discovered this through the wall trick in this level. He saw it in a commercial, and I remember he was like so excited to get home to try it.
Here we go!
Yeah, there were a lot of people saying, you know, hey, the retro tank looks like, just the level of thing I need, or or maybe they already had something else, but they really wanted an S video.
Right, and what's kind of nice about it is I think that
I screwed up.
there is a lot of potential for people who just like have no interest in modding any of their consoles.
Yeah. And it's probably the best all-around thing if you're going the zero mod route. Because you can use HD Retrovision for the RGB, the native RGB consoles. Should I try jumping off? I did, but I lost the finger. I'm wasting a lot of time on this
I already got 16 stock.
I'm probably a little rusty.
But that generic, the S video and composite upscaler you got, that was actually, like a different brand of that exact same thing. Was the first scaler I ever got.
Right. Well, I mean, you say exact same thing, but who knows what the insides really are?
Mine, like the fuse blew on mine.
Yeah, like
Twice.
mine.
Like actually, I think they fixed it, and then it died again.
All right. You know what? Forget this stupid. Forget it. I'm getting one more star in this level, and then I'm moving on.
Yeah, so the iScan Pro, I have one of those. We should have done a comparison to the iScan Pro.
I'm wasting
the DVDO thing that I have.
Oh yeah, what is that exactly? I forgot you had that.
I don't know too much about it. I know that it looks pretty good.
What all does it do? And how much does it cost?
I don't know how much it is now. I mean, hang on. I haven't done too much with it. It's a line doubler. Line doubler video processor.
That is not how you're supposed to get that star.
Here we go!
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do the stupid thing.
Video and component on it. I mean, I have it set up. But I just haven't done anything with it. But we should have compared that. I didn't even think about it.
But that's not really designed for gaming, is it?
No, it's more for movies. But still, I mean,
while this penguin is crying, might be a good time to check if is the audio level good. We're never confirmed.
There's no way to like paste. Can I upload my own emojis? Can you upload emojis? Because if you recall a while back, we were talking about the frame mister, and somebody in the Discord chat, in the Patreon Discord chat, created a great frame mister. I was gonna add frame mister to here.
It's got composite and RCA audio teeth.
Yeah. Let's see. And make a custom emoji. Let's see if I can upload your first emoji. Here we go.
It's gonna be close.
Oh, what size do I gotta make this?
Here we go!
.48 by 48. I'm gonna see if I can make it real quick. At the, as long as the chat will bear with me while I do this.
Am I going to bother with the red coins in this level?
Oh, we got a $5 donation from Mitchell Bowling saying, I sent the photo of the dirty PSP, so I feel responsible. Try a new PSP slipcase is now en route. No more dirty 3000. Well, thank you.
Thank you indeed. It has been superficially wiped off. I feel like whenever I put something in an episode, hoping they'll get like, people will like notice or point out, like no one comments on it. This is like the one time where people were like, "Oh my gosh, that PSP."
Well, you said it got exactly the reaction you were hoping.
It was, but it's, you know, I don't often get the reaction. I missed anything. Ah, shoot. Oh, wait, no, that's... missed one.
All right, I'm gonna see if this works.
Oh, it's
There we go.
out there. That's right.
It does work. Let's see if this shows up. He's tiny. So you can't make it a little bigger.
Is there any way to enjoy him in his full glory? You can post links, can't you?
Yeah.
Did you post a link to the full thing?
No, I will do that right now.
I knew I should have just forgotten the red coins on this level. I'm a little shaky on their locations.
I mean, is it okay to send like the, where you can click on something like the Discord app.com/attachments? You can share that, you think?
I don't know. I mean, are you asking whether it is ethically okay or whether it will just work?
Yeah, just like whether it will work.
I have no idea.
I'll just do it through Dropbox, and people can download and use as they
Share
see.
and remix.
Yeah. Dropbox.
Here we go!
Let's see if this works.
I do have to admit, I'm not necessarily the best Bowser thrower.
So long, que Bowser.
That was just fun. I love how there's a bit of the Bowser fight music in that song at the end of Mario Odyssey.
Oh yeah. Oh, Outplays and Paint says, can't wait to see you guys at Retro World Expo. Well, we're excited to go.
Yeah.
We haven't been to a convention in
Over a year.
a little while.
Just over a year. It feels
Yeah.
kind of surreal.
Let's go.
I've never seen this level before.
Really?
I don't think, at least.
It's actually it's actually one of the levels that I've traditionally gotten all the stars on during just a quick one-sitting playthrough. I mean, it's a little more, sort of maybe takes a little more time to figure out, but if you know what you're doing, it's pretty quick.
I think this might be almost our biggest stream, and
Whoa! Whoops.
since like Kevtris. You might even have more viewers than we had when we were doing Mario 2.
Oh.
428 people.
Oh yeah,
The Mario
the
games
real
brings a lot of
Mario
people
2.
in. Yeah. We're a little quiet, or our voices are quiet? The game is a little loud.
Oh, is it? Sorry about that. I turned it down a bit. Let me know if that was enough.
What's your ABO Hiccups is asking, what's your favorite modded console? Are you playing it right now?
I probably am playing it right now. I mean, you know, I am a big N64 fan. I would not necessarily call it my favorite console, but I'm a big fan of the console. But I feel like the mod, the Ultra HDMI mod, is like the most interesting mod.
Yeah.
To me.
Mine is probably the PC Engine Duo R.
Yeah, that's up there too, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got the interface unit, which is kind of a special mod unto itself.
Right. Now it says, so the game sounds too low.
Well, there is no music right here. It's, you know, it's hard to guess, really.
It was perfect before. Now, I think it was originally perfect.
When it was said to be too loud?
Someone might have just been saying it to get you to screw around with it.
Well, now I don't know where to put it.
I'd put it back to where you had it originally.
Well, I mean, I don't know where that was, is what I mean.
Yeah.
So I adjusted it a bit.
But yeah, the Dusty PSP was a lot of people talking about it.
I feel like that idea
It
was
overshadowed everything in the episode.
I mean, it was so quick. I'm surprised people even caught it.
Yeah, that was fun though. You know, Joe said he really liked that whole bit.
Oh, really? Well, that was actually, I think, lightly inspired by how he does, like, you know, if he says, like, Hideo Kojima, like, he has, like, it's exactly lined up to the frames where the name is said and then it cuts to something else. It's just,
yeah.
Like I kind of wanted to do this thing where I, like, you know, just showed the systems as long as it's being said. Yeah. Like, that was semi-inspired by Joe.
The camera work made me think of like a Peter Jackson movie.
I can see that. I don't know, like, what made me think to do, like, the weird camera movement, but but the initial idea definitely came from, you know, the way Joe does like game developer names. There was another little Joe inspiration. I'm surprised there's been no Green Dog comments.
Oh yeah, with the dither.
With the dither blending. I had no idea if that game would even have it or not. I booted it up on the EverDrive and the opening scene was like perfect for it. My favorite thing about it this is kind of subtle, but like he's stuck in the sand when it's component video, and then the composite video brings him to life. Composite gives Green Dog life.
Only the best for Green Dog.
I thought there was, for some reason, I thought there was recognized in that back door. Yes, not.
Oh, it did. I don't know if Streets of Rage. Did Streets of Rage 4 get announced before we streamed last week, or is it after?
I think it was this past week. You were not feeling the style, but I kind of like it.
Yeah, I'm definitely not super enthused about it. And you know, that's pretty rare. Like usually I'm kind of open to whatever. But it just is not like resonating with me at all.
I mean, to me, I mean, I can definitely see where it's similar to Dragon's Trap style, but like it gives it like a very comic booky sort of feel to me, which I feel
right,
like,
but
which
like,
I feel
can
fits Streets of Rage.
See, I don't think it fits Streets of Rage. If it was like Comic Zone 2, it'd be perfect.
It works for me.
It worked for Wonder Boy. It just doesn't. I just like it. Just doesn't feel right to me. And that, you know, it's fine. I'm sure it'll play really good and it'll be fun to play. But if I was in control of like the look of the game, it's not what I would pick.
I don't know if I would have necessarily thought of it, but I mean, I feel like, you know, whoever the main artists are at Lizard Cube, I mean, that's probably just that guy's style. You know, that's how he draws stuff.
True. And I guess like the team, it's like that's actually doing like the heavy lifting, not like just the artwork, is pretty good too. I didn't play it. They did like a like another brawler that was used digitized graphics, I think.
Yeah, I clicked a link to the developer's website. I didn't look at it in motion, but it's a fun idea.
Yeah. Let's see. Did we have a chance to check out the 8-bit Bluetooth boards? Someone was saying earlier that apparently those boards fix the like the D-pad issues that some of the other ones may have had.
Like, can you put that board in a...
Yeah, that's what it's for.
Like an existing 8-bit though?
I'm sure you can. What I'm kind of interested in doing, if I get them, is putting them inside, is gutting a classic edition controller. Kind of like.
Maybe.
Because that might be a good use.
What I would like to do, I've got a Coury controller that I bought it new like several years ago, which, I mean, it seems to have a very similar feel to the official Super Nintendo controllers, but I'm screwed up here. Oops. Sometimes I'm not feeling that. But it's very similar to the official controllers, except it's like the Coury GameCube pad, where it's kind of got those, where the handles sort of have this slant outwards. It's a little thicker.
Mm-hmm.
And that controller is good, except for the fact that, at least on the one I have, it just drops occasionally. What I mean is the Y button drops. I mean it's a wired controller, but the Y button, like if you're running in Mario, like every once in a while he'll just kind of, you know, skip a beat.
Second.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
So yeah, I'd love to replace the guts in that one. I might have a few.
Well, that's something I'd like to cover. So we're planning on. I'm excited about doing. I think we're both pretty excited because I think that it's something we can have a lot of fun with. Is just doing a general, like maybe like, I could see it being like many episodes actually. It's just kind of doing a general third-party controllers episode, and we just like cover controllers from all eras. Just like pick like good ones, bad ones, like really ridiculous ones. Maybe cover like 10 to 12 controllers per episode. And just like so we can look at some weird stuff and look at some like really good stuff.
Yeah.
Like I'm kind of excited about that. It would be so much fun, and it's really something that we could do over time. I'm envisioning it as like we could do segments like kind of separately, and just kind of stockpile them and then compile them into an episode. Like do them over time and then compile them into an episode and release it.
Something that I have that would be interesting to try for that episode is I've got I think there's a couple of different names for this. Sometimes it's called like SuperPad 64 or something. It's this really stupid looking N64 controller that's got like one like really fat handle and a thin handle, and like the analog stick is kind of at a non-perpendicular angle.
Yeah.
But when the analog stick in N64 analog stick swap episode, lots of comments, lots of love for that controller, which, you know, that was just a random Christmas gift, unsolicited Christmas gift from a family member one year, and I never gave that controller any serious attention. The only time that it really was ever useful to me was in Mystical Ninja, Yae's magic. To get her magic mermaid transformation, you have to do this mini game where you have to climb a waterfall, and it's a button masher. And when I was younger, I'm not a great button masher now, but I had just no technique at all. And but yeah, so I used the controller to get past that. I can't remember any other specific times that I needed auto fire. But yeah, I've never really given that controller a serious try. So that would be an interesting thing to do for that episode, because some people seem to swear by it, but it just seems so weird to me.
I mean, I think it would be a really fun episode, and I think that's something that can get a lot of mileage. I mean, a lot of our controller episodes seems to have they have a lot of views on them, but I just think it'd be really fun because you never know what you're gonna see, too, and especially if we're doing stuff from all generations.
This is the easiest red coins in the whole game, by the way. They're all in one spot. This is probably the easiest level to get all the stars in. Or maybe the fastest, to me.
So I think that episode will probably happen, at least the first one will happen sooner. Probably in October, I'm guessing. Because we get back and
this is a trick a friend found, by the way, to get to this star. I'm sure this is well known and documented, but dang it, we found it ourselves back in the day.
We get back from Connecticut on the 10th, and we got some fun stuff planned. And then on the first, you go for full time.
Yeah, that's right.
Pretty exciting.
Very.
We looked at the dates on the retro tank and since 106, and we didn't realize it had been so long.
Yeah, it'd been a month.
a
Technically, there was
month.
no proper video release in August, although we did the Retro World announcement video.
Yeah, which is like, we didn't even notice it. I was on vacation for a while.
The retro tank, like it took me a little longer to write the script than I thought it would. The edit really should have been a week edit, and I think that's about the time that I did put into it, was about a week of editing. But I sort of last week, sort of my hand wasn't feeling too good, so I don't normally have any like carpal tunnel like problems. Like I've never really had like any repetitive stress, but I actually think it was I slept on it funny, but I recovered from that for a couple of days and over the weekend, and then early this week I didn't have really any time I didn't really have any time at all Monday or Tuesday to edit. It was mostly Wednesday and Friday I finished. Well, or Thursday and Friday. I guess I did a lot on Wednesday as well. But yeah, so all in all, it was about a week of editing, but it ended up being 2 weeks. But oh well, it is what it is. You know.
It is what it is. But I think that once we're both doing this all the time, I think you're gonna definitely see an increase in everything. And we've even talked about, like, I think you'll probably start to see us both appearing in episodes, the same episodes more often. Stuff like that, which hasn't happened outside of RGB episodes in a long time, really. Well, since like the beginning of the year. I think the last time was probably like our favorites of the year.
Really? You think
last
so?
year.
Ah,
what?
Dang it.
Well, I guess the Wii shop.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I think that, it's going to be... I think overall everything's going to be it's going to be pretty exciting. I'm excited to see what we're capable of doing when, we have total dedication.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see more... You're going to see more game episodes, I think, as well. It's funny. I've been uploading the show. It's gonna go up on Amazon Prime as soon as I get subtitles back for the first season, and it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun, like seeing everything kind of broken up into seasons like that. It's gonna be 13 episode seasons where I'm basically picking like the best 13 episodes from each year that we've been around. So it's gonna start out. It's gonna be some of those early episodes that don't have a lot of views, really, like especially on the channel.
Whew, some of that's gonna be embarrassing. I hope you're making good picks.
Well, no, I specifically went and picked the ones that weren't super embarrassing. I tried to really pick the ones that weren't super embarrassing. But I think it's gonna that's gonna be fun. And
are there any video game just review type shows on?
Well,
Amazon
there's Classic Game Room.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Like he moved his whole platform over to
how's he doing over there? I haven't really even kept up.
I think it's. It's hard to say like how it's going for him. I'm not sure if like how many people watch. Mm-hmm. He has a lot of fans, so I'm sure a lot of people are following with her. It really felt like seeing his content on there that he was like much more inspired to make it than he has been. He was like towards the end of like his time on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of has an interesting format. I think it's actually pretty cool. I think, the early episodes had this format, but it seemed like he's been doing it less and less. where he just like, it was like multiple episodes in one to kind of make a like a full on like a show. You know, it's like I could see us actually kind of doing something like that, and that might be something I would actually should think about. Like, what if I made
like a show format?
Yeah, where it just like alternates be back and forth. Like I just like kind of pick the best episodes and make. That's actually a good idea.
Yeah, I mean
Really?
that could really like give us like a lot more, I guess, structure to like our process and our approach, you know, like, oh, like I gotta, like almost more like a news sort of situation, like, oh, I gotta get Coury this segment done, you know, by the end of tomorrow. You know,
well, kind of like that, but I mean, imagine like making that kind of a show using the like the episodes that we've already had, like making.
I mean,
30 minutes
just for Amazon, though.
Just for Amazon. Instead of making, you know,
yeah, we could provide context basically for like, oh, you know, here's this episode, you know, here's a few mistakes in it, and here's what we liked, and here's, you know, provide a little context for why we made the episode and stuff like that, I guess.
Yeah, it's actually something I'm gonna think about. All you really need to do is cut out maybe the intros. I mean, you can make it work. Just cut out like the intros, really, and the endings.
Well, I mean, sometimes the intros might.
But I'm not talking about like, I'm talking about like the actual intro.
Oh, okay. I mean, that could be hard in some ways because of the way we lead into it, you know.
Yeah, well, actually, it would work if we had all the master files, which I don't have. Yeah. So it's not like we can make a version without the music.
Yeah, it'd be tough.
Well, maybe that's what I'll think about like going forward.
Cause like
that actually could be cool. Like maybe compile episodes from a certain point forward without like the intro music. Or like we could even write write an alternate opening.
You know what's funny is, you know, it kind of made me think. You know, this latest episode, I actually originally had the ending because, you know, normally we would whoever like was talking last will do just a brief ending.
Right.
But I was like, you know, there's nothing really important in my ending, and the way Coury's script worked, like it kind of felt like it could wrap it up, but I wasn't sure. I was like, maybe it would work if I cut my ending and just end it with Coury. But then it's amazing, you know, as soon as you put that music under it, it's like, oh yeah, that works as an ending.
Right. Well, I guess doing that format wouldn't really work, but I mean, maybe it's something we should consider in the future. That'd be kind of cool. I'm setting up a VHS dubbing station in the other room so I can start making new dubs of How to Beat Volume 1, and I'm working on Volume 2. I'm not sure how many people are interested in buying VHSs these days, but I'm sure that if I make like a kind of a limited amount.
If anyone is, it's the people that watch our show.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, do you think that... Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of doing 100 copies of Volume 1, 100 copies of Volume 2, and 100 copies that have 1 and 2 in it. So really, I'd be making 400 VHS tapes. But I'm going to set it up where I'm going to get this, I'm going to get a distributor amp so I can send, I can make, with 4 VCRs, I can make 4 at a time. So really, it's just like, if like they're 100, or if they're an hour, I mean, it'll only take me a couple weeks to do them all. I mean, probably a month, really, to make 400 total.
Why? Gosh.
Because we have... Now I guess I could make other make additional copies as they're requested at that point. So I think that'd be pretty fun. I think it's gonna happen. I already have 2 VHS decks set up. So when we get back from the trip, I'm gonna order that distributor amp and I can start making them. And in terms of
random aside here, thing I used to like to do back in my youngin' days. If you turn the camera just right, it looks like Mario is a walking box when you're holding a box with legs. Oh. Super Boxio. Anyway, sorry.
But I think that I'm gonna get. I'll just go and get, VCRs from Goodwill. Clean them and then I can make the dubs. But I mean, if that, I think that's something that, I'm sure we could sell at least 100. There's got to be 100 people out there that would be interested in kind of a collectible, handmade item like that, right?
Yeah.
The thing
it's funny to think of VHS as like a handcrafted.
Yeah.
You should put a little thing on the back that says handcrafted in Newport, Kentucky.
Yeah. I mean, we got a whole bunch. Speaking of which, hopefully, I mean, we do not need any more VHS tapes. I appreciate. I know we just received a box in the PO box a couple days ago of VHS tapes, and we'll definitely put them to good use. But we have more than enough to probably do everything that we want to do with them forever at this point. So I do appreciate, but like if we don't need any more VHS tapes, blank tapes. Now, if you have really super high quality, SP recordings of, like
Game
MTV or something like that, then I'm definitely interested in that. Like MTV in the 90s, late 80s, 90s, because I can digitize some high quality commercials that way, and I can maybe do another commercials of so and so year with that. But we don't need any more blanks.
Let's see if I can do it. Nope. Oh well. I don't exactly remember where the best point to jump. Oh, I did it. It's sort of a shortcut to this star.
Here we go! Let's go!
Do I want to get the right coins in this level? I'm trying to think, am I missing another star too? The red coin should be pretty easy to get in this one, I think.
Can you do any other consoles out twice same time?
I feel like I could devise a way to do it with Genesis. Or really any system that uses sync on composite. I know that HD Retrovision uses composite at the source for compatibility reasons. Of course, it doesn't cause problems because of, you know, they manage it correctly. But I think it's converted though, so I don't think like composite video goes down the Luma cable. So I briefly thought, well, maybe I could pull out the HD Retrovision cables and somehow get composite out of it. I don't think that would work. I mean, that would probably be something pretty easy for someone to rig up, would just be like a composite breakout cable for SCART cables. You could just like pull the composite.
You could do it with you do a component. I have that dongle that lets you output composite and S video from the
oh, the Xbox?
No, it's for the well, that too, but for the PS2 and PS1. You could do it that way.
You know, it probably wouldn't work really well with like Xbox though, because I assume if you activate 480p mode, that nothing comes out over the other ports. Because I know that's the case with GameCube.
We have room for 6 more custom emojis.
Oh wow.
Speaking of custom stuff, Retro World Expo we'll have stickers. We're gonna have die-cut stickers that we'll be handing out. We only have a limited amount, so it's only like 1 per person. But should I go grab them? I can show them. I'll show it.
And I think we'll start selling them on our store. When we get back.
We won't be able to see it very well, but they're not huge or anything like that, but they're pretty cool. Oh, it's not quite in the camera. Can you tell me if I'm in the camera or not? Can you see it?
No, it needs to be like in front of your face. There you go.
Yeah.
I swear I saw a red corner.
Got a little stack of them like this.
I definitely thought I saw a red corner. Where are the others? Oh, they're inside the box. That's right.
Adam Jenkins, there is that is happening as well. But they'll go up when we get back. The stickers they're not really glossy. They're almost kind of matte finished, which is I think is kind of cool actually. Phantom JMA. I am reading the chat. I am. Tries that.
What's
He's playing.
pyramid puzzle?
Let's go.
What is that? I don't remember what that is, so I'm not going to deal with it. Let's do the vanish cap. I remember, like, my friend and I were like, we knew that we knew about the wing cap and the metal cap and the vanish cap because of the instruction manual. We're like, where are they? Like, we couldn't find them, and we were just like, oh, are we ever gonna find them? And the first one we found was the vanish cap, and I'll just never forget, like, the sense of wonder of, like, discovering it.
Yeah.
Like, we
You
were
don't-
just, huh?
It's hard to really get that from stuff. One of my favorite things was always in like Metroidvania style games. You know, I always liked it after I finished it, and then I would always go back in and see what I could find in the world, knowing that I was basically fully powered up. And like it happened with Super Metroid, you know, I spent so much time just searching for everything.
Yeah, I mean, we just, like, we were sitting next to each other, and we just, like turned to each other with, like, this, like, amazed expression on our faces, and we just, like, said at the same time, the vanish cap! Like, it was like a stupid moment from a movie. Like, we were just, like, so into it.
The Dragonborn is asking if you know if there's a way to connect multiple consoles to a TV with one HD Retrovision cable. No, there's not, but you can.
But wait, multiple consoles to a TV with one HD. Oh, like if you wanted to
With
use
one.
like the PlayStation adapter or something.
Yeah, I mean, you could plug the adapters in and then like hot swap it.
Yeah, they work kind of hard though. So, you know, like I as I discovered when I was going back and forth between capturing. Dang it. Going back and forth between capturing here's what I actually had to do. My Genesis composite cable is actually Genesis 2 composite cable, but I was using my Genesis 1, and so I was actually using the HD Retrovision adapter that adapts it for Model 1 or Model 2. I was using that for my composite cable. So if I was capturing something in composite on the Genesis, I found that I had to remove the whole thing. Like, I was like, go leave the adapter in the system and then just plug in the HD Retrovision cable. But I had to unplug the whole thing because it holds it. It grips it pretty good. Oh. Whew. Close. Oh no! Oh no! Oh. I can't see! I can't see! Okay. Oh, I accidentally hit the R button and turned it on Mario Cam. There's like this is like one of the baffling things in this game. Like, the only bad thing in this game, and it doesn't even matter because who would ever use it? The Mario Cam. Like, why does it even exist? Like, it's so terrible. Like, there's just no reason for that functionality to even be in the game.
Here we go.
Do you know if anyone who has used the RS-232 control features of the Extron switchers on the monoprice 8x1 HDMI switcher to control switching for their setups? Is that just like I have one that I can connect to a computer, and then you like have a program that you can bring up and patch it that way. Is it the same way? I'm guessing there probably is, but no, I don't know anybody's done that. I messed around with it on one of my my Extron, but I just felt like it wasn't. I just would rather hit the buttons because it's quicker. And besides, I don't really change the settings on it at all once, like now that it's pretty much exactly how I want it to be.
This is a level that I always am a little unsure. Am I going to go for more stars or not very many stars? It can be fast or slow depending on the day. Some days I'm like, maybe I kind of forgot how to get this one thing or something. I've kind of got a lot of stars though, so I might skip most of this level.
Is this the best music in the game?
Maybe. I mean, certainly for its context, it works well. I mean, I'm a pretty big fan of. I mean, I like just kind of the main level theme. I like the Bowser level theme. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to do any more stars there. I've got lots of stars.
Yeah, the Super Emotia is something that we want to take a look at. We had somebody who was going to lend us one, but we haven't talked about it in a long time. There's a lot of people asking about how the Retro Tank works with laser discs, and neither of us have a laser disc player. You've
been really close to getting one. It actually kind of surprised me.
I just lost auction today. Looking at one that I bid on it, and what was it? Let me show you the kind that I want to get. This was recommended to me, and I have somebody who is gonna maybe send me one, but I haven't heard anything in a very long time. It's the Pioneer CLD V2600.
I'm guessing
it's kind of a heavy duty one. It's like, let me see here. Let me see if I can find a good. I mean, this one, I guess this is like.
I'm guessing that laser discs don't have like the weird sync issues that VHS tapes have.
Right. See, this is the kind that I want to get right here. Oh, that's enough. The CLD 2600. I mean, this one looks like it's in pretty good shape. Maybe I'll bid on this one.
Right,
but I guess this is kind of a more industrial.
2 for 2 on Bowser tosses tonight. Not bad.
But I really want to do a video game Laserdiscs episode. That's not like games on Laserdisc, obviously, but like the video VHS games, just like videos.
I mean, it's my understanding that there's like a bunch of like Japanese arcade game long plays.
Yeah, stuff like that. Super plays. Killpain 8787 gave a $2 donation. Thank you.
Oh,
it said, "What about with the 3DO?" What was the question before that?
Probably how how it looks on the Retro Tank. I don't have a 3DO, and I'm the one that was testing the Retro Tank. But I'm
right.
It would obviously the 3DO, N64, Commodore 64. I mean, those would be some of the prime systems for using with the retro tank for sure.
I'm not sure if we're talking about the. It does have S video on the Laserdisc player.
I bet a lot of times though they're probably just the video might be transferred in composite though.
Yeah. I mean, it's composite video on the disc,
Yeah.
so it doesn't really even matter. But I mean, I've been recommended this specific Laserdisc player.
I mean, you're not
So
going
it
to get
kinda
further degradation by using S video, I guess.
Right. But I mean, this is the kind of the one that I've like kind of set my sights on. I might put a bid on this one. Yeah. I'll bid. I'm gonna bid. I mean, it's got $30 shipping. I'll keep it open. I'll put a bid in after the stream. Oh, Laser Active doesn't have S video. I mean, this one seems like it's in pretty good shape, but let's see what. Oh, it's untested. It turns on, and the drawer comes out. They're selling. Geez, it's selling a bunch. The same ones.
I'm going to show you the glitch I was talking about earlier that I discovered back in the day that is completely useless, and I have no idea. I might be the only person that knows about this. Well, I've shown it on like backloggery streams before. So you get in the cannon, you aim at the sun, and then you go aim straight above it. You shoot out of it, you hit the invisible wall, and you land right. You lose half your health, but you land back in the cannon.
Right in the other.
So you do it. You do it a second time. You land the cannon again, but you're dead. And you can do it again and again and again, and he still won't. He still won't play the death animation. You can keep laying in the can as many times as you want, but then if you shoot onto solid ground, or actually, you probably die if you shoot in the water too. If you land on solid ground, then he does the death animation. Let's see what happens in the water. Yeah, okay. If you shoot him in the water, he drowns immediately. I've always assumed that Mario gaining life, like I've heard some people call it a glitch, like, oh, did you know that if you're losing health and then you go in the water and then go back to the top of the water, you get all your health back? I found a glitch in Mario 64. And I'm like, I don't think that is a glitch, strictly speaking. However, it's long been my assumption that that started as a glitch. Like, I'm guessing that it was something like they that like it was like they programmed it to for your health to go back up, you know, to recover your lost oxygen. And then they're like, oh wait, but that's going to recover your health because it's on the same meter. And they were probably like, that's fine. There's no way that they like shipped the game and didn't know about that. So that's why I say it's not a glitch, but I'm guessing it's something that was originally unintentional, but they just stuck with it. That's my theory, anyway. Now, since I didn't really play a lot of Sonic back in the day, this was kind of like the beginning of my experience with a video game character having limited oxygen underwater. I mean, I'm sure I'd played a few games. I mean, I'd probably played enough of a Sonic game to experience that, but
yeah, it's kind of a. I would remember being kind of surprised by it because it was, you know, it's never been a problem previously.
mm-hmm. Let's go
Phantom Knight is wondering what we think about the light gun Verter. Is that the duck hunt thing that's only lets you play duck hunt?
The duck hunt thing that only lets you play duck hunt?
On a no
on LCD. Oops.
Yeah, the duck hunt thing.
I mean, I'm honestly not that interested in anything that lets you play light gun games on a CRT unless it's like really viable. Like people talk about all this like pie in the sky stuff that's like requires like a lot of very specific, very weird hardware and stuff, and it's like, oh, like it's just unless it's like all of a sudden like really practical.
I mean, I'm curious to see where the technology will go.
Yeah, I mean, if it ever becomes like, you know, something that works with a bunch of games without like a bunch of very obscure, difficult equipment, difficult to set up. I mean, people are really jumping through some hoops. You know, I mean, a lot of people make the argument of, oh, you know, here's a no lag solution for you. Just play on a CRT. You know, and I am a proponent of the CRTs, but you know, I think it's stupid to suggest that, you know, everyone needs to be using them. So, but when it comes to that kind of stuff, I will say just use a CRT because there's just too many hoops to jump through, you know? It's just,
and there is definitely like a special appeal, I think, about playing like a
yeah, but I mean, with the CRT, you know, it just works. It just works, you know. All the other complicated stuff is just not worth it, in my opinion. Rematch with Cooper the Quick. That's one I'm always like, I'm not sure if I'm going to do that one or not. So it is pretty cool that they brought this back to, was it Galaxy 2, I think? They had this in it?
Yes.
I don't really remember like how similar it was or how remixed it was.
Ender Blaze is asking if you prefer the soft look of S video or the crisp pixels presented by HDMI.
I prefer Ultra HDMI myself, but I have nothing against the S video. I mean, that's obviously a matter of preference there.
And I prefer de-blurred RGB.
Yeah.
Because that's what I have. I mean,
Well, and we really do need to
it.
compare it. I mean, the nice thing about de-blur RGB is you can view it on a CRT, and it does look better than
de-blurred on the CRT.
Yeah.
This new episode is a lot more popular than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it's got pretty decent views on it. So I've been happy with the reception. I'll admit I was hoping for more views on the 4K episode.
But I think that's going to be.
It'll continue to do well over time, but
yeah.
You know, this is one jump that I've always wanted to make, and I don't think I've ever managed to get up there without going all the way around. Oh, well, okay. I've probably done that before. But I remember for a long time thinking it seemed hard.
Is the LG C7 a good TV? That's what you have, right? I have the C8. I think.
Yeah, I've got. Of course it is. It's a great TV.
It's good. I think it's worth noting. I don't know if it's been like discussed publicly, but the new one, the C8, has. You know how you talked about the deep color issue with the FrameMeister on the C7 causing the screen to be pink, and that has been fixed on the C8.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, John confirmed it with me.
You and Joe were testing some stuff with. I don't know if it was just Genesis or all systems, but apparently 4X mode was dropping, having some hitches on the C8. I almost always use 5X, so I never noticed anything. But I'd be curious. I do need to test it a little more on the C7. But I mean, I know I've used the test suite on the C7 and not had any issues.
Ace is asking if I use the black frame insertion on the C8, and I have briefly. I haven't had a chance to really spend as much time with the TV, like playing stuff on it, as I would have liked due to like travel and family vacations and stuff. I know that John Linneman from Digital Foundry really likes it. It was like he got the TV after he saw it in action.
He said you can see the flicker, but he said it eliminates.
Oh, we got a $10 donation from.
I knew I shouldn't have. I knew I shouldn't have tried to go for this stuff.
Joryuken? I'm guessing that's they play on the Shoryuken from Street Fighter. Joryuken28 says, "Love the channel, a little too much. Question: Are you guys going to do any more handheld related episodes on how to hook them up to a HD TV?" And you're definitely like PSP is a big one for you.
Yeah, that's one of my priority episodes, I think. I'll probably almost definitely do Wii first. But yeah, that's probably the RGB 200 that I will do after Wii. But you've got several others that you're planning to do as well. Oh, I see Smoke Mars in the chat. Any updates on when SA1 might release? Because I'm really itching to get a SD2 SNES, but I don't think I'm going to get one until that's out. Although
I'm pretty
that
sure
releasing could make them difficult to get.
I mean, a lot of people think that we should do a video, just like kind of an update video saying like these are supported now. A lot of people have already done them, and like update videos are not like very much our style, I guess.
But it can
unless we
be-
have something else to do.
Yeah,
unless we have
but
something else
I
to
feel like
fit in there
going
as well.
forward though, it's definitely a possibility because
Yeah.
Definitely more of a possibility because like I think we're going to be thinking a lot more in terms of like, oh, you know, I need to do an episode that I can get done within in less than a week, you know, and that kind of thing, you know, maybe we will do.
Yeah.
Oops. I briefly thought about maybe playing Super Lucky's Tale, which I got
Oh yeah.
because
I'd be interested in doing like a dual stream with that because I've been thinking about.
Oh,
I
didn't know you
that a
had
couple
it.
weeks ago. Yeah, it was like $15.
yeah, I mean that's about what I got for too. Because Best Buy, I don't know if they've still got it, but they had a really good Labor Day sale with a lot of first-party Switch stuff on sale for $45, which I mean, you know, Nintendo stuff doesn't go on sale or get reduced prices very often, so you know, I got Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze just because I mean, there were several games $45, but I already had them. Other than that, so or at least the ones I wanted. So anyway, yeah, so I got that for $35 because it's the $45 deal stacked with the Gamers Club. It's discontinued, but they're still honoring it. So that was pretty cool. But I got Super Lucky's Tale while I was at. I think it was on sale as well. That was also on sale, but I also got Dark Souls Remastered, which was not on sale but reduced price. But I could probably, you know, with the deal I ultimately got for I think $23. You know, I probably could have got it for less than that at some point and by the end of the year, but I don't know. I just wanted it.
Smoke Monster says SA1 is pretty well vetted. Just waiting for the next official firmware update for it to be officially integrated into the SNES.
Oh, wow.
SNES.
So, are there any sort of caveats to it?
I don't know. Well, you know what he says. I haven't even tested it. I haven't even tested Super Effects. I gotta be honest.
Oh, I don't think SA1 is like available for just anyone to play around with, is it?
Yeah, there is. I mean, I could put it on mine, I'm sure.
Oh, oh no. Oh no.
Nope, SA1 is 100% supported now with a couple of tiny quirks left to iron out. Even the weird hacks and demos work.
What are some of the quirks? My main thing, the main thing I want is to play the Marvelous translation guide. That's like really the only thing I want to do.
Yeah. Enderblaze is saying thoughts on a possible video about arcade board. I think that would be awesome. Sounds really expensive.
Well, you know some people with arcade boards.
Yeah, I mean that might be fun to do. Like,
I don't know what the angle might be.
Maybe it doesn't even need an angle. Maybe it's just like, here's some arcade boards.
Let's look at.
I mean, I think that you'll kind of see us for like certain multi-game episodes. Like I'm not sure how many people in the chat watched the year-end video that we did last year. I mean, I could see more of it, like occasionally doing like a multi-game episode. It's like much more like free-flowing, where we don't need to like get super deep into certain things. Like it's more like, hey, let's just like show a bunch of stuff and kind of talk about them a little bit, but I don't have to like get like way in depth with them. I don't know if that's a good way to explain it. Smoke Monster says there's some issue with 3-chip SNESs and Kirby, and Kirby or something. That's
Three chip.
That's
You mean
it.
like one chip 03 or?
Marvelous Translation is 100% go.
What was the other quirk?
Kirby,
What about it?
probably Dreamland 3, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I don't know if Superstar uses it in like any super meaningful way. Well, to be fair, I don't really know if Dreamland 3 does either. But I do know that Dreamland 3 has like the interesting high res mode stuff, which Marvelous does as well. But I don't think it necessarily has anything to do with it using SA1.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got Kirby's Dream Line 3, Kirby's Superstar. I'm not that interested in playing like hacks and stuff. I mean, I'd probably try it out, but is there anything I'm missing here? Did I get everything?
But going back to like the multi-game episode stuff, you know, if we start to do, you know, just stuff like where it's a little bit more like free flowing. You know, we were thinking about doing like a big Dragon Quest episode with 11 coming out in 2 days.
Well, these are just ideas right now, but maybe why not? I'd like to.
Yeah. Smoke Monster says
Oh, we got
free
a
chip
donation.
moves into a certain reset state, it causes issues. Super technical. Oh, we got a $5 donation really quick.
Stephen Wheeler.
Says, I've learned a lot from your channel, and it's cool to see you guys will be in Connecticut soon. See you there. We'll see you there. Thank you. Okay, is it a 3-chip boost? Is it? I wonder, is he mean the 2-chip, or is it like a 3-chip? Like I don't.
I mean, I think that what people call a quote unquote 2-chip should be called a 3-chip, shouldn't it? Because
yeah, I guess that is what he is. Then that's what.
So he's talking about the original model SNES.
Yeah.
So
boosting a
1
certain
chips
reset
don't
state.
have problems?
It's super technical and over my head, but Akari and Red Guy are working hard on it.
Here we go!
That's cool. I mean, I still have to. I haven't updated my firmware in a little while, so. Oh, we got Bob Cornhole. He's back again.
Sandy, I'll pay a little more attention to you after I beat Bowser, okay?
You still got 3 left.
No, you need 70 actually.
Oh, really?
Yep. You need just a bit more than half. This guy has a freebie though.
Here we go.
Fishing while doing stuff in TikTok clock.
Do you ever do the backward long jump to get up to the endless stairs?
I mean, I know that there are glitches to get in there early. I don't think I've ever tried that specifically. I mean, I you know, back in the day, I certainly experimented on my own a bit.
We got $14.99 donation from I Hate You.
Oh well,
It does not hate us tonight. He's saying, who's excited for Onimusha Warlords HD?
You know, I haven't even played my PS2 copy that I got from got at Too Many Games last year, which I got like a new sealed copy for $5, I think, which was the same price as a not sealed copy at the same vendor. So I felt pretty good about that.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I mean, I think it's cool that it's coming out. I wonder, like, I'm surprised they're not doing all 4 of them. And also, like, is it like Blade Master or something like that? This is a fighting game.
Well, they probably don't know how popular each one will be. I mean, it's kind of like
True,
how
but
they
I mean, I feel
how
like
they
they-
did like Remake and RE0 like individually.
Yeah, but I mean, at least do the main trilogy.
I mean, is it really even accurate to just call it a main trilogy? I'm assuming they're all pretty equivalent games, even though they have
Well,
different
I mean,
names.
I mean,
I don't know a whole ton about
The
it.
3rd game brings back the main character from the 1st game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have you played through any of them?
I played through the 1st one. I mean, that was like, in a lot of ways, that was kind of like the first like really big game that came out on the PS2.
You think so? Was it that early?
It was pretty early, yeah. Enderblaze says, having been subscribed for about a year, I've learned a lot of fascinating stuff from you guys. If I could afford it, I would definitely like to dabble in this area of retro gaming. It can be challenging at times.
Hegel.
But I mean, I think about a lot of times about how much money we probably wasted on stuff that wasn't good for a long time before we found out what was good.
I mean, you know, and then here I just intentionally bought a crappy scaler so that I could show it in the episode.
Yeah. I mean, I would have given you mine if the fuse didn't blow in it.
Yeah, I mean, or you could have just gotten me clips of it. But I thought it was important because, like, I think a huge number of people who would be interested in the retro tink are the people who, would also be an audience for those scalers. And I was really mad at first when I discovered that Genesis was displaying in black and white, and I thought, oh man, people are going to think that I just was being stupid and had it on S video mode or something. And I was like, no, but it's not working. And then I mentioned it to Steve. He's like, oh yeah, that's a thing. That Genesis Composite is just so bad that a lot of video decoders like can't even lock onto the chroma signal. So I was like, oh, okay, well that's actually a fun point.
Here we go.
You're just using a plain gray
Hegel.
N64 controller.
That's right. It was the controller that I got like direct from Nintendo maybe 10 years ago. They still have them on the Nintendo online store.
Was the N64 like the multiple colors and stuff? Was that kind of like
It was kind
the
of
beginning of official first-party controllers, like in different colors becoming a thing?
I mean, it was the first I was really aware of. I mean, maybe that was more. Maybe it was a thing in Japan because I feel like Saturn kind of has several different colors over there, doesn't it? Maybe.
No, I mean they're just the same colors as the consoles they came with.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, it was the first I was aware of it. I mean, it seemed like a really cool idea at the time, and they launched with it too.
What do you think, outside of the gray, what do you think the atomic purple is probably the most common color?
I mean, maybe there was a lot of those consoles, I guess, but I don't know if it was necessarily the most common because, I mean, you think of all the different colors that it launched with. You know, I mean, the gray is not necessarily my favorite by any means. Dang it, I'm having a hard time here. But I use it because it's my freshest controller. You know, I mean, all of my controllers are pretty fine, but I mean, it is no doubt the best because it is the newest. Let's go to.
Yeah, I have, you know, the see-through green. It's kind of greenish yellow.
Oh, dang it, this is not Retrode.
It's kind of like pea colored, I guess.
I don't like this star. It's just
It's radioactive pea, really, actually.
I don't like getting that star. I will get my stars elsewhere.
Yeah, it's like a neon yellowish green. I just got like a solid colored green one though recently at the what is it? St. Vincent's de Paul that was around the corner, but they closed. Kind of bummed out about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the owner of the building like didn't renew their lease, and now there's like nothing in there. It's like, why wouldn't you just like let them do it? Apparently they were there for like 20 some years.
That's depressing.
Yeah. And it was just right before it happened just after I like made friends with one of the guys working there, because he got a big kick out of my son, and like I told him I was always looking for games, and he like took my phone number and would call me when games would come in. That's how I got that great controller.
And they had like a huge GameCube haul one time.
Yeah. Oh, we got a $5 donation from Exile. Saying, love you guys. I hope to see you at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo.
We hope to be there one day too.
Yeah, we hope to be there. Like, if you want us to like come to a convention, like we're open to like pretty much going to anything.
Yeah, so tell people you want us to come.
Yeah, let the convention know that you want to see us there. Thank you for the donation.
Actually get pretty nervous going for this one. Ugh.
Here we go.
It's not one of my. Some of the ones that are left aren't my favorites. I think I'll get a few in Dire Docs.
The main N64 is in my setup now is a jungle green one.
I do really want to get one of those someday.
Because it was...
Oh, why did I go in here?
It was for sale, like, kind of locally, but it was marked down because I had a crack in the, like, the back corner of the case.
That's the one with your de-blur RGB, right?
Yep. What's the best N64 cable? Monster, Hori, or OEM? I feel like OEM is like always, it's always a safe bet.
Yeah, I used to have official Nintendo S video, but I don't know what happened to it. I used to have a couple of them. I don't know if they stopped working, but I just don't have them anymore. I have no. I mean, I used them a lot, so I just have no recollection of what happened there.
So yeah, Michael Davidson was talking about Sega Lord X. I thought he like quit YouTube a while ago. Is he back? I was subscribed to him before on his old channel. Yeah, looks like he is. And he has 69 videos. Yeah, because I found out about him after I did like that Sega Ages video, which we'll be continuing. Because he did a video on all the Sega Ages. I wonder if then he deleted his channel.
Do I want to do this? I'll try it, I guess.
So it looks like, did he like reopen his old channel? Oh, it looks like he's been around for 6 months again. So maybe he uploaded his old stuff. This old console, he says, make sure to check out the Burnside skate park near the convention center. I'm not a skater, but I mean, it's cool just because it was in Tony Hawk. Tack the Pixels agrees with me about Streets of Rage 4. Says the characters look squished, stubby, and fat. I think they should have done it like Sonic Mania. I agree.
I mean, I would be very excited about Sonic Mania style, but I do like the look that we are getting.
I do like just the very idea of, you know, like Sonic Mania, like it's kind of like how a 2D Sonic game would have been on the Saturn, and I love that. That's what I love, that idea, and I think it's
that
like,
only happened because of Christian
like,
Whitehead, though. You know,
well, but not
like,
necessarily. But I think it's like a great idea because so many of these big series on the Genesis like never came out on the Saturn, and they should have. And how awesome would it be to like make up for lost time now, like for all these different.
Yeah, I mean, it would definitely be a very cool idea. I mean, you know, hey, I'd be way into randomly you've got like an N64 style Metroid.
I got a $9.99 donation from Gabe Renfro, who says, Eon HD GameCube to HDMI component converter to Tink2X for analog output with little lag.
You
so
know,
going from HDMI.
I have really wanted to test like an HDMI to component converter that wouldn't like do any upscaling, downscaling, or anything like that. Because I think that could have a lot of really cool applications. What I would the main reason I would like to test that would be, I would be curious to try HDMI to component to HDMI to component to the OSSC and do like the 2x mode, because I really like how that looks. I didn't show that mode in the RetroTank episode because I thought it was kind of outside the scope. But I would like to try it. I just don't know what to buy. I don't know, you know, like there's the HDMI to VGA converters, which I mean, I guess I could do that with. I guess there's no reason I couldn't do that with the OSSC from the GameCube thing. But I should test that actually. But
You know what would be a really fun episode to do is to do an episode that's just converting the signal as like many times as possible. Just to like
using what we've got. Like the most things that you can do and still get something coherent in the end.
Yeah, and like even when it's just there's no real reason to even do it, just it'd just be about seeing how far you could go.
We should do a
I mean, it's like almost like the
we should do an RF upscaling episode, like getting the best picture out of your using RF.
That could be fun. But I think that would be like, maybe that's something we should think about, because I think that'd be a lot of fun. I think people would enjoy it. Well, you know, once we're doing this full time, there's gonna be time to do all this like kind of fun random stuff like that, I think.
Okay.
I mean, we've long thought about like how it would be fun just to, you know, have like a one-off idea and just like do it in a couple days.
Yeah.
You know.
And for episodes that will take more time, like, you know, hopefully we can maybe we can like take a break from them, you know, as long as they're not like super time sensitive, and just, you know, do something like that.
Yeah. We are going full time. I mean, we'll still be like freelancing on the side, which is what I currently do.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's
we
not
are gonna be...
it's not like tremendous money or anything.
Yes, exactly. We're not like we've spent a long time getting ourselves in a position where we could like make a go at it, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I just couldn't do the 2-job thing anymore.
Right.
It was just beyond me.
And like we are doing like some other stuff to try to like help. Like, you know, we are doing like a documentary project that is for us, but it's also for somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I could see
More,
you know, like I
that
think
could
of stuff
come
like yeah, I mean, like opportunities like that. Like I've been spending a lot of time thinking about like, you know, what comes next in like someone's career in doing this kind of stuff. So I mean, it's we are going full time, and that's how it's going to be. Videos hourly. It won't even be daily. I mean, our stuff takes long enough to make.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if we had like a news station's worth of crew.
Yeah. But I mean, also, you know, like there's something that like we noticed that, I mean, I don't know how if it would change now, but even when we were like releasing a new episode every single week, like I almost felt like they didn't do as well as like they should have. I think that GameSack ran into a situation like that, but I think that our format allows us like a little bit more, like not every episode has to be like 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that the idea of a possible weekly release schedule is, we can get ourselves like, I mean, we would try for weekly, but if certain things take like longer than that, that'd be okay.
I end up picking a really long
If we do like
here.
shorter things like here and there, like in between, like I could see us possibly like one like here and there having like 5 episodes in a month, depending on like the subject and the timing of it. But I mean,
but at the end of the day, I think our longer episodes are more popular and ultimately do better for us. But
I mean, we noticed that with like
we aren't going to neglect those.
Yes, exactly. The idea is that we'll be able to do like longer episodes much more frequently. But I mean, if we have like a kind of a one-off idea, it's like, oh, well, let me see if I can just do this, if I can do this in a couple of days. And it's like, all right, we'll do that in addition to the other stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll see.
I don't remember the star taking so long. Only one more to do after this, though.
Yeah, but there's no way we're doing Let's Play stuff. Or, like, there's no way we'll be doing, like daily news type stuff. We just don't have any interest in that.
Yeah.
And, like, I feel like if I was doing, like, daily news stuff, like, I would hate the industry. You know what I mean?
I pay so little attention these days. Well,
I know,
I guess the flip side of it could be, you know, we tend to not really get like too like, oh man, you see what Capcom's doing? Oh, those just lazy, greedy, blah blah blah. Like we're just like, you know, well, whatever. Capcom did a thing. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, maybe people desire some of that in their lives where they're just like, oh, Capcom did a thing. Well, I guess, you know, if they want to do that, that's okay. Whatever.
Bob Cornwell is wondering if when we did the Night Trap documentary, we see the original footage from the other digital pictures games. We didn't. We didn't, but maybe that's something that we could maybe touch on a little bit more in the future. I'm not sure if this would be possible or not, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if there's anything else to that down the line. It'd be cool. But yeah, I just don't follow the industry. It's just like when when games get delayed, I'm basically like, oh,
thank goodness.
Yeah, I'm like happy when games get delayed because it's not like I have any shortage of games to play as it is.
Yeah.
And even if I didn't, like, when doing like the show, it's almost.
I heard that there was some.
Have time to play.
Did you hear that there was apparently some like, I think it kind of turned into a joke, but I think there was some sort of hoopla about like, oh, Spider-Man's graphics got a downgrade. Why are you doing this, Sony? Why are you giving us downgrade graphics? Because like apparently they compared like some textures changed between like
the size of a puddle changed.
Yeah, and I think some textures changed too. They're like, well, this isn't the first time Sony gave us downgraded graphics. It's like, dude, an optimization, they decide something worked better. Like,
Yeah, they
It's
should.
not like oh, we're getting away with the worst graphics here. You know, I mean, come on.
Crayx. I have it in my Amazon wish list, but have not. That comes out in like 2 weeks, doesn't it? Siberia or Delta. I should have done that before Amazon got rid of their pre-order.
What is it?
Siberia or Delta.
I don't know.
It's a vertical shooter. It came out on the Saturn originally.
So that Ikaruga is coming bundled with the Fangamer vertical dock, right? It is the Fangamer one, right?
Wait. What?
I thought you said it was. I asked you. I said, "Is it the Fangamer one?" You said, "Yeah, it's Fangamer."
I didn't see anything about a dock.
I thought not dock, but the grip, whatever.
No, I said game case.
Game case.
It's just a joke.
Wait, what was
I
it?
think like the tweet are you talking about? It's like the largest game case ever or something like that.
I mean, I didn't even look at too much. You just linked me to something about physical Ikaruga. Right?
Well, Nicholas was like had a very kind of a cryptic tweet saying like, "Oh, could this be the biggest game case ever?"
Well, it looked like an Ikaruga Switch case, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, presumably that would mean because it's got vertical grip, right? I mean, why else would it? I mean, I didn't see
anything about a grip. I didn't see anything about a grip anywhere.
Well, I said, is it the Fangamer grip? And you said, yeah, Fangamer.
Oh, I thought you were asking about something completely different.
No.
I thought you were just saying like, is that the grip that you got? Is you pre-orders? It's the Fangamer vertical grip. I don't know. Like, I don't even know.
Yeah,
I didn't say anything about a grip.
Oh, well, I was under the impression that the reason that Ikaruga box was big, I didn't look into the context of anything. All I know is you linked me.
Well, just the idea was that it's like they're hinting that Ikaruga is going to get a physical copy.
Well, that doesn't sound like a hint. I mean, I thought that was an actual picture. Wasn't it a Switch case? Maybe it wasn't a Switch case. What was the picture? I didn't think it was a hint. I thought it was a pretty blatant thing.
Well, it wasn't confirmed.
Well, what was the picture? Because my memory of it was seeing a Switch Ikaruga box.
I can probably find it.
Which I mean, maybe I was on my phone and just didn't look at it closely. But I was like, oh, okay, that's a real thing then.
Someone was asking about the Eon HDMI adapter, and we're going to be doing a video on that and the Carby from was it Insurrection Gaming, like their new one that's like kind of like in a metal case. It's kind of awesome looking. We're gonna do a video on the two of them. Like the Zelda XP version, we don't have one, but I can't imagine. Like, I'm not sure how widely available the Zelda XP Pro adapter is. Why does he look all weird?
He's rainbow colored on the last one.
Oh, I don't remember this at all.
This one takes 3 bombs. The others are only 1. And I already missed my first one. It turns way faster.
Originally, we were going to wait for the Badass Consoles GC Video X version, but we haven't heard anything for a long time, and people have been asking about the adapters, like doing a video on that. So we just wanted to like cover more than one, and like the Carby is a perfect opportunity to do that. So I think that those two are going to be like they're the two main players, I guess, at this point.
I'm doing really bad on Bowser tossing this time. I'm not a good Bowser tosser. What can I say? This is probably ill-advised here. It's fine.
Can we confirm that those XP adapters can be safely unplugged from the digital port?
I'm not trying it on my. I'm not trying it on my GameCube.
But I haven't seen anything about like version 3.0. Like it just doesn't seem like there's like a lot of people talking about it as much these days.
I mean, how much does it cost?
I don't know. I mean, it was like the main one for a long time, and then you know when the Eon came out, that's kind of became the main one that everyone's talking about. And with the Kirby coming out, like the Kirby looks really cool because they custom designed all these connectors that basically look exactly like the real thing.
Oh, I just jumped over him. And B. That was probably like about 2.5, 215, between 220 and 2.5, I'd say. I mean, I did a little goofing around too.
Oh, what about the GC Dual? I guess maybe we should talk to.
I'd like to be able to. I feel like that would be relevant to show in the episode.
Yeah.
Even if it's mainly about plug and play options.
Yeah. That's. Thanks for pointing it out because we should contact him about it.
And I need the Wii Dual as well for the Wii episode. That was really that's really the big thing I was waiting for the Wii episode.
Oh, looks like
I should try to do that by the end of the year, the Wii episode.
Yeah.
Sandy,
we got a better looking. There we go. I was just giving a better looking frame mister.
Oh.
Let's see if I can replace him. See how he looks. I delete the old one. Yes, like I can.
The power of the stars is restored to the castle.
And it's all thanks to you. Thank you, Mario. We have to do something special for you.
Here we go!
Listen, everybody. Let's bake a delicious cake. For Mario.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider myself an expert by modern internet standards at Mario 64, but you know, I'm pretty good at it in the grand scheme of things. For someone who has never like seriously researched like how to do all the tricks and the most efficient stars and stuff like that, I just play the game normally. But
all right. This is a better looking emoji. So I'm gonna copy this. Just a replacement. It's exactly what I was hoping for.
Oh, it's got a little FM on it.
Yeah.
I guess I was taking some shortcuts and fancy jumps, but they're just the shortcuts and fancy jumps that me and my friends found back in the day. None of this, you know, this is authentic tricks from the heart, not from reading the internet or watching speedruns. These are tricks found with friendship and feeling. We used to do things that we call them Mario tests, and we would like each come up with like challenges for each other to try, and whoever could complete the most challenges that the other person made won.
Who gets the most respect?
I don't know, you just won. But I mean, man, me and my friends just devoured this game inside and out. I mean, I've played it so many times. Like GoldenEye was another big one. I mean, you know, yeah, we played multiplayer, but the single player was a big thing too, because similar to this game, well, maybe more so, GoldenEye is a glitchy game. And, but that means there's a lot of weird things to sort of discover and figure out. You know, so, I mean, I would just play random levels and, you know, poke at them until I broke them in some way. Like, I'm too old for speed running now, but if speed running was a thing back in those days, I probably would have been into it. Like, I don't know if I would have been a good speedrunner, but I probably would have been into, you know, finding the game-breaking stuff. You know, nowadays, I just like to play a game straight. I like to play it normally. You know, I don't like focusing on one game anymore and just like finding out I mean, sometimes I guess I do, but it just doesn't. I find myself wanting to.
We had more time.
Yeah, when we had more time, you know, I still played a bunch of other games, but you know, I had like these certain ones like Mario 64 and GoldenEye that I would just play a ton of.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think N64 is a very popular speedrunning console for that reason, because it's early 3D games, and you know, some of the seams weren't exactly buttoned up. You know, and so there are interesting things you can do with these games. Even though I'm not like huge into the speedrunning scene, I can see where the interest comes from. Because I was very much that way about these games, even though I wasn't really optimizing them. I was interested in just trying out stuff, seeing what you could do. Maybe a few things you weren't supposed to do. But I never found anything too severe that felt like just like a super outright glitch that you shouldn't do. Just, you know, interesting ways to get from point A to point B, basically. But yeah, you know, I don't know if it'll show up on the stream too clearly. Let me switch to full screen here. You know, there's a retro mode on the Ultra HDMI, which just loads a certain set of presets. But I think it looks insane. Like it might not show up too well on the stream, but I feel like it.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
It captures the true scanline look. Let me see if I can. Whoa, that's looking trippy.
Whoa.
Sort of zoom in a little bit more there. Like it's maybe a little over bloomed out in the wide areas, but like the edges of the colored areas, especially like look at the edge of the screen, like how it sort of tapers off as it gets darker. Yeah. Like that really captures the PVM look. like.
Yeah, it does a pretty good job, I think.
I think it's pretty impressive. I think it's the coolest artificial scanline solution I've seen that you can use on original hardware. I mean, you know, obviously emulators have some pretty fancy pretty fancy filters or whatever you want to call it, whatever they're called. I think are they just called filters, or I can't remember. Whatever, yeah. But yeah. So there you have it. It's always good to just play. You know, I like to make backlog progress on streams, but it's good to just romp around with an old favorite.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, a lot of people were excited to watch it tonight, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, what was our peak viewers? I mean, it was well in the 400s. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's 430 something, maybe 400, closer to 450. But once again, we will not be streaming next week because we'll still be in Connecticut, unless we can
come up with some way.
Yeah, unless we figure something out.
I mean, I don't know what we could bring that would be small enough to really make work. I mean, I won't want to bring a Switch dock with me.
Yeah. But we'll figure out something. Bob Cornwell's asking like what's gonna be next. Like we don't usually decide what we're gonna play until like maybe like that day.
Yeah, most of the time.
A lot of times it feels
sometimes it's within the half hour before the stream.
Yeah. But that's a good race. I mean, it was
yeah. We tied.
Right down to the frame.
Yeah. You probably technically won. The S video might be, you know, a couple milliseconds faster than the.
Yeah.
I'd say you technically won. What can I say? You know, I'll never be the Mario 64 master that you are.
Well, what can you do?
All right. Well, I think Sandy's antsy to go to the bathroom. So
yeah. Thanks for everybody who came and watched and who donated tonight.
Yeah. Thank you all.
Stream. It was fun.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.